Hey everybody, it's your girl. What's up? I'm feeling a lot better than I've been feeling. Oh my God. I've been actually drinking some ginger shots, and I'll go to Drought and I get this drink, and I'm telling you, I don't know if you could hear it in my I got tape on me. I don't know if you could hear my voice, but I sound and feel a lot better. So anyway, I'm working on another project. Just wanted to take one. I'm working on another project. I'm really excited about this. I'm creating a tote bag, so just create with me. All right, here we go. I've already made the straps, so I made 2 straps. And my strap is, let me tell you what the strap is. It is 21 inches long, and it's 3 inches wide. And what I did was, remember I told you on another video, fold it in half, and I fold the middles, the two sides into the middle. Then I fold it. And so what I'm going to do next is go to my sewing machine and top stitch. Alright? And I'm going to do that to both handles. In the meantime, I created this is called an applique. So I created an applique, and I'm going to add it to my handbag. So this is a cute tote bag that I'm making, that I designed. If you want to know more about it, let me know in the description box. But in the meantime, let me get ready and let's go ahead and create this. So this is actually, let's see, let me move that. This is 19 by 17. The bag is 19 inches by 17. So 19 by 17. And now I'm getting ready to, so you might as well have a pen and a piece of paper. I'll try to put it in the description box, but you know what? I don't know if I will. So just in case, just have your pen. I always say go through, watch the video, and then jot down all your notes, and then start to work. So now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a 2 by 2 corner. So I'm going 2 by 2, and I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. I might have to stand up for this one. Hold on. I might have to stand up for this whole bag, actually. So we're going to do a 2 by 2 here. Let's see. Let's go with this. Here we go. I actually had like a little corner thing. And actually this pen, when you iron it, wet it, whatever, it's a water soluble pen, that'll come out. Alright, so now I'm going to cut. Now one of the things that I like to do, because I have 2 pieces of fabric together, make sure it's lined up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin, because I want to make sure that when I cut both layers that it's lined up and it don't move. So let's do that. Okay, so now I'm going to cut it out. First of all, I have too much stuff on my table. Alright, so now we've done that. So now I'm going to do the same thing to the lining fabric. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces of lining fabric, which I have not cut yet, and I'm going to do that to the lining fabric, same thing, and I'll see you back here. So hey everybody, what I decided to do was use my fabric that I have for inside lining. So I'm just going to cut it from here, and that's how I'm going to do it. So let me cut a piece off the bolt. So what I did, I just laid And usually once I cut it off from the bulk of fabric, because this is my custom fabric, so once usually I'll pin it here like this just to keep it in place. So what I'm going to do here is use my rotary cutter. Just place it on there like that. These scissors. I tell you, I need room on my table when I'm doing stuff. And make sure everything is good and straight. I told you I need a new blade on this rotary cutter. I probably need a new rotary cutter, but this is how I'm doing it for right now. So I'm just cutting all the extra fabric off. I'm using this as a pattern to do it. And then I have two pieces here too because my fabric was already folded in half. I'm going to take my scissors and I'll cut the squares out. And this is one of my off the top of my handbags today. I'm back off the top of the head. Okay, so I'm gonna actually perhaps maybe even create a pocket out of one of these pieces, but I'll see. I might use the other fabric. But anyway, so now we have our lining fabric. So at this point, whatever you want to do with your lining fabric, like add a pocket, that's what you need to do now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to my ironing board. I'm going to press it, and by the time I come back, we'll see if I'm going to do an inside pocket. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so I decided to create a pocket. So my pocket is going to be, I'm going to cut a 19 by 11.5 piece of fabric. So this is at 18. So I'm going to do 18. And so we have 18 instead of 19, so I'll do 18 and 11.5. Just gonna line it up here so I can actually see where I'm at, so I can cut it 11.5. Okay. So this is my pocket, and I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to stitch around here, and then I'm going to turn it inside out, and that's going to be the pocket that's going to go. So you leave an opening here at the bottom so you can turn it inside out, and that's going to go in my bag. Alright, so I'll see you back here after I stitch. So I'm going to take it to first I'm going to take it to the ironing board, and I'm going to press it. Then I'm going to stitch around here, around, stop here, stitch on this side, around, stop here. I'm going to leave that bottom piece open, And I'm going to use this and turn it inside out for my pocket. I'll see you back here. Alright, so now I'm back. I've stitched the pocket. So now I'm getting ready to cut some of this off. Alright, so now we're going to turn it inside out. And push out all the corners. Once you push out all the corners, take it to the ironing board and press it. And I'll see you back here. You can take your scissors too, or some type, whatever you have, a dowel. You can push out the corners like that, just to make sure you get them pushed out. All right. You don't have to push hard because you push right through. Okay, so now take it to your ironing board. You're going to close this piece in like this. And you're going to press. And I'll see you back here. Okay, I'm back. So at this point, if you have your logo that you want to put on here, your name or anything, you can do it now. Stitch it on and you'll be ready. Okay, so now what I'm getting ready to do is take a piece of the lining fabric. Like I said, this is when you put your pocket on. So I'm going to fold it in half to find the middle. Of my fabric. Then I'm going to fold the pocket in half to find the middle of the pocket. And we're going to put it here like this. This is the middle, and this is the middle of the pocket. And this is the bottom where it's open at, because you're going to stitch around here like that. Okay? So now I'm going to come down about, let's see, we're going to have a 1/2 inch seam allowance here when we stitch. Everything is going to be a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So this is good. This is good right here. So I came down from the top. Let's see, let's come down 3.5. Let's come down 3.5 from the top. All right. So now I'm going to pin. Then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch around. And what you're going to do is you're going to also back stitch when you get here at the end. When you start here, you're going to back stitch. You're going to stitch, then you're going to back stitch. Then you're going to stitch around, all the way around, and then you're going to back stitch here. So always remember the back stitch. What back stitching does is closes it out. It locks the stitch in. All right? So I'll see you back here. Okay, yeah, I had to switch to my other camera because the other one, my battery went dead. So hopefully I'm in frame. So now what we're getting ready to do is we're going to take this. We already put right sides together. We finished the pocket. So now I'm getting ready to take this to the sewing machine. You can pin at this point. We're going to stitch here. We're going to stitch here. And we're going to stitch here. But we're going to leave an opening at the bottom. Okay? And I'll see you back here. Alright everybody, so I just did actually I did a 1 inch seam allowance around here, down, and then like I said, I left an opening here So when we get ready to turn it inside out, we can. Just wanted to make sure I was still in frame. All right, so now the next step we're going to do is we're going to take the side of the bag here. Actually, you can go and press this open if you like. I'm not going to. I'm just going to open it like this, and I'm going to line up the bottom and the side. And once we line them up so they match seam to seam, take a pen, and you're going to repeat that on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and pin it in 3 places. We're going to repeat that on the other side. You're going to line up seam to seam. And you're going to pin. Next thing you're going to do, which I like to do, I like to take my, let's see, let me open it, make sure. What I like to do, oops, I like to come in with my ruler, and depending on where you want, I'm going to actually draw a line here. And that's where I'm going to stitch at. Let me get my... So I'm going to stitch. I want to create a 1 inch, or you could do a 1/2 inch. I'm going to do 1 inch from here up. And I'm going to take this marker and I'm going to mark across here. And then that way, what's going to happen here is that I'm going to follow this with my sewing machine. I'm going to follow that with my sewing machine across there to stitch. And I'm going to do it to, I'm going to repeat that to the other side. It's the pins is actually having it slide, so just kind of be careful. Alright, there we go. So now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch across here and I'm going to repeat it on the other side, and I'll see you back here. Okay, so now that I've stitched both sides, as you can see here, now I'm going to trim off the extra. So now we're actually complete. We have completed the lining, so we are done so far with this. Now we're getting ready to move on to the main part of the bag. Okay, so now we're getting ready to create the main part of the bag. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one part of the bag, which this is going to be my front part of my bag. So remember, I created an embellishment for my bag, or applique embellishment. But I'm going to actually, let's see, so I know I did I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance on the bag. Since I did 1 inch there, so I'm doing a 1/2 inch, I'm sorry, a 1/2 inch seam allowance on my, when I stitch my bag. So I know at least if I'm doing a 1/2 inch seam allowance, then I'm good here with that. And I'm going to do a 1/2 inch, so I'm good. So this is where I want to place my applique embellishment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over. I'll pin it down. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine. And I'm going to stitch it down. These are new pins, and of course I can't open them. Why is that? Do it have tape on it? Probably. Okay. We're not fooling with that right now. Okay, so let's pin this down. And actually I could have sprayed it with the spray that I told you about, but I didn't. I could have. It would just help it temporary from actually moving around, but I can pin it, and that's just as good. I'm excited about this bag. This is so cute. This is really going to be cute because it's going to have, let's see, let me make sure that I think I need to bring it over just a little more. Yeah, let me bring this over just a little more because, yeah, I'm going to put it here. I didn't want to put it in the middle. I wanted to put it off to the side a little bit. That's cute. And I'm doing the straps. It's the same. Remember, I got to do my straps. So I already showed you the straps. I just got to stitch them. And I'll be bringing them back once I do this. So I'm going to stitch around here, stitch around, stitch around, stitch, 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 stitch. And I'll see you back here. Alright, so I have stitched my straps. So now we're going to put our straps on. So the first thing I'm going to do is find, of course, the middle of the bag. There we go. Let's see, let's get this right. Middle of the bag. And then I'm going to take my straps. And these big scissors. Yeah. All right. That's a little scissors right here. So we're going to take the strap. And we're going to, let's see, let's come in 4 here. Let's see, no, I want to come in, no, I want to come out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's come out 4 here from the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line it up, pin it. Do the same here. From the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, let's see, bring it in like that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I'm trying to see if I want to do 4 or 3 with this strap. I think 4 is good. Because I don't want the strap to be too far out. That's really going to be nice, y'all. That's going to be that's a really nice bag already. Yes, I'm loving this. But I think what I want to do, I want the strap to face like, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I want it like this. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So what I did was find the middle. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Line up my end of my strap here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And line up the end of the strap here. All right. So oops. Wow. So now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, and I'm going to just do a top stitch. Close as I can get it, and I'm going to repeat that to the other side of the bag. All right, and I'll see you back here. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So we have stitched our handles on. And so now, usually they call that, excuse me, they call this like a basting stitch. That's what they usually call it. That's just to get the handle on so you can put the bag together. So now I'm getting ready to stitch the bag up like I did the lining. So what we're going to do is we're going to put right sides together. Make sure you pin because we have so much going on in here, so much bulk going on. So we want to pin, line up everything, and pin. So we're going to do a 1/2 inch. I wanted to use my new pins. I guess if I just take the time to open them. They have tape here. Oh. I don't know if it's all the way around or just right there. There we go. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and pin here. We're going to pin all the way around. I hope you enjoyed this sewing tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share and like, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't for more tutorials. I'm sticking myself here. All right. Now we're going to repeat that to this side of the bag. Now, again, if you want, actually, if you don't know what a 1/2 inch seam allowance is, let me tell you a little bit about that. Because I said we're going to stitch a 1/2 inch seam allowance. If you, like, oh, what's a 1/2 inch? You can take your ruler, and I'm going to use one side of the bag. Okay, I'm just moving this out the way. I just want to show you something. Take this. This is 1/2 inch, which is half of 1 inch. 1/2 inch. And take your marker. And this will just help you keep a straight line if you're a beginner. And it's just a trick that, so let me show you this little trick. And then and then that way you will know that this is your 1/2 inch and that's what you're going to stitch on. You can do it around the whole entire bag. Then that way it'll help you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it here. And it also reminds you that you're only doing a 1/2 inch. Because I did a 1 inch seam allowance on the lining, which I wanted to make that a little smaller than the outside bag. So now, and this is going to be a 1/2 inch. Which I probably could have actually did a little more than that, but this is how I want to do it. Okay? So, and I'm going to go ahead and do this side as well, since I have it pinned already. So I'm going to go ahead and do a 1/2 inch here as well. Don't seem to be that straight, but that's okay. It happens sometimes. From time to time. Okay. See, look like it's more in there, but whatever. Okay, so now that we have that, so let's go ahead and tuck this back in and finish pinning around. Remember, this time when we stitch this, we're not going to leave an opening at the bottom because we left it in the lining. We're just going to go ahead and stitch it all the way across here, here, and here. And then we're going to close the corners off like we did the lining piece. And we almost finished with this bag. Let's go ahead and pin these. And the reason that I'm pinning on this side of the line is that when I stitch it, I never sew over my pins. And you've heard that in several videos if you watched any of my other videos that I mentioned. Do not stitch over your pins. You could break your needle, anything pop. Something to pop. Listen. I try to be as safe as possible also when I'm sewing. Alright, this bag is really coming along. This is really cute. And if you wanted to put any more embellishments on it outside of the A, that before you actually pin it to sew it, you can do it. You can do it now. Or I can show you another method too in 1 second as soon as I get finished with this, because I might want to add a couple more things to it. So now I'm getting ready to take this to my sewing machine. I know I'm way up there, right? I mean, I'm way. That's like, okay, so now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. I'm going to stitch. Hold on, let me hopefully I'm in frame. I'm going to stitch here. I'm going to stitch here, and I'm stitching here. So we're going to close up the bottom of the bag, okay? So I'll see you back here, all right? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take the bottom just like we did the other bag, like we did the lining. We're going to open this up. And we're going to pin. Let's use the larger ones on that one. There we go. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing we did over there. Same thing we did with the lining. We're going to take it. We're going to measure. I did a 1 inch over there, I believe. So we're going to measure 1 inch here, 1 inch. And we're going to repeat this to the other side. We're going to stitch across. And then I'm going to see you back here. Alright, so we're going to repeat this to the other side. We're going to take it to our sewing machine. We're going to stitch across on both sides, and I'll see you back here. Alright? Okay, so now that you've sewn the handles on, turn the bag inside out. Turn the bag out. Push all your corners in. Now, take your lining fabric, put right sides together. Make sure the pocket is in the back. So, right sides together. Alright, so now you're going to make sure your handles are nice and down. So you take, nice and flat rather, and in the bag right. So then you take your, all these strings, take your side seam and line it up with your side back lining seam as shown here. Make sure everything is in, the straps, everything. So you line this up. I've been losing my batteries, y'all. My battery's been dying. Okay, so we're gonna pin. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna repeat this on the other side, because you want to get your sides lined up first. And then you'll be able to, the rest of your bag will line up. That's what you want. Okay? I'm going to shake it down in there for a second. Alright? So now we're going to line the sides up and we're going to pin. Make sure they lined up, seam to seam, as shown here, and pin. Okay, so now you line up and pin all the way around the bag. Make sure your strap is straight. Make sure the strap is straight in the bag. And then you start to pin all the way around. And then we're going to stitch. I'm going to put it so I know where my straps are. I'll take it loose, of course, before I stitch over it. So we're going to stitch all the way around this bag. Now let me tell you about this bag. This is part of one of our, I guess you could say, fundraisers. If you're interested in getting a bag like this with your initial on it, just let us know. We'll have this bag actually on our website. And don't forget, everything that we do, part of the proceeds go to our event that we're having for the young people when the weather break. And we actually going to try to get school supplies to them. However, whether they're at home or, you know, in our area first, and we'll work on the rest later. But right now, you have to start somewhere. So we start in our area. Even if they're at home, they still need supplies. Let's get some of the strings out of the way. Okay, so you're going to keep pinning around. I'm not as close as I could be, but we good. So here's another strap. Make sure it's straight in the back, lined up right. I'm just going to actually put the pin on the strap. I'm going to pin that so we got everything done on this side. Now I'm going to, let me keep you in. Alright, so let's turn it over. We have everything. So now what I'm getting ready to do is take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch a 1/2 inch all the way around the bag, and I'll see you back here. Alright? Alright, so now we've stitched all the way around the bag. So now we're getting ready to turn it inside out. So go at the bottom, like I showed you, where we left it open, and you're going to pull the inner bag out. Take your time. Make sure all the pins are out too. Alright. This is so nice. Nice bag. Very nice bag. Oh my God, this is such a nice bag. Okay. So now what you want to do, push your lining. See, your pocket is in the back of the bag. It's going to be in the back. So we're going to take this, before we push the lining in, we're going to take this to your sewing machine and you're going to stitch the bottom closed. You're going to stitch the bottom closed. So pull it together like this. You can pin, put a couple of pins in it. That's where the opening is. And you're just going to stitch it closed. So you're going to take it and you're going to stitch it closed. And I'll see you back here. Alright, so now that we have closed up the bottom, we stitched it closed. So now we're going to take it, we're going to push it in, the lining inside of the bag like this. This is a really nice bag. I'm really excited about this bag. And we have to do a top stitch and we'll be finished. If you want to do any more embellishments, like I said, if you decide, well, I want something else on it, once you close it up, I'll show you how to embellish it. This is really a nice bag, like I said. I'm excited about this bag. Yes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to my ironing board and I'm going to press around for the top stitch. Now I'm thinking about perhaps leaving some of this out to see it. So depending on how you want to do it, or you can push it back, you can push it in and just top stitch around and you won't see any of the black. But that's a nice bag. So I'm getting ready to go and take it to my not my sewing machine. I'm getting ready to take it to my ironing board and press it, press around it to press in the lining. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to top stitch all the way around and I'll be back with the finished product. I'll see you back here. Well, we are completed. We have completed the assignment. Look at that. So cute. We top stitched all the way around and that's our bag. Thank you. Oh, that's right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you if you want to embellish this. I'm going to show you. Give me 1 second. Be right back. So if you wanted to embellish it, you could get some fabric glue. You could get little flowers like this and you can add to it however you want to, and you can actually glue this on. I actually like mine the way that it is. And I'm just saying if you wanted to add a little more whatever to it. But I like mine the way it is. So, but you could take a glue. I wouldn't do a glue gun. If you want it to be permanent, I would use fabric glue. Glue on the back of there, put it on, and let it dry. Alright, so that was just another tip if you would like to embellish. But I'm good the way mine is. I like it like that. It depends on if you want one, you know. But because I don't have a black one or a white one, that's why I'm not going to do it. But I like this the way it is. Alright, see you next time. Don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this is a keychain that I'm making actually for the bag as well. And I'm going to have a word going on the side maybe with some black and white. But stay tuned and I'm going to have a keychain for the bag as well. Alright, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Look forward to some more videos like this. See you soon. Peace.